Welcome to Wesley Impact. I'm Keith Garner. I'd like to take opportunity on this Christmas Day to wish you and those with you a very happy and blessed Christmas. Thank you for sharing some of your Christmas Day with us. We've got a very special treat on the show today because we're going to be joined by my own Wesley Samoan Congregational Choir, supported by our Wesley Impact Band, who are with us every week. They're going to share in 3 familiar Christmas songs and carols as we look to celebrate the birth of our Lord Jesus Christ. We've had some fun here in the studio because we had to light this central candle. And if any of you've ever lit candles, you know sometimes it doesn't go as well as you'd like. So we've lit all of them just prior to coming on the show. They're the Advent candles that all through the season of Advent we have lit one after the other, celebrating those characters, those people who are very much part of the Christmas story. And then the King, the white candle in the middle, which celebrates the gift of Jesus Christ, which on this day is our most special day. As I shared earlier, we're going to have the Samoan Choir and our band leaders in familiar songs for this season of the year. Now, the first of these songs is called O Holy Night. I'm sure many of you know it, but it goes back to 1847, written when an organ had just been renovated. It's very interesting as a song because it's very popular now, but let me tell you that it's probably only the second piece of music to ever be recorded on radio. So it's got a historic sense about it. It's had a renaissance in recent years by popular themes and singers sharing it together. It picks up, for me at least, the importance of the most holy night when Jesus Christ was born. The night symbolizes so many things. But in that night, when there was no room in the inn, when it was difficult to be able to find somewhere to rest, there at that point in time, at that point in history, in all of time, the birth of Jesus Christ came about. It's no wonder we call it a holy night, because all nights and all that night represents, fear and darkness and isolation, has been eradicated for all time, because the light of Jesus Christ has come into the world. And so our central candle symbolizes, speaks powerfully of the gift of Jesus Christ. So I'm going to invite you now to enjoy that song. If you know it, you might want to sing along. So I want now to welcome the Wesley Samoan Congregational Choir, and they're going to sing with Craig Gower and my usual team here at the Wesley Impact Studio. We're going to have for us, O Holy Night.
Stars are brightly shining, it is the night of our dear Saviour's birth. Long lay the world in sin and error apart.
If you would like to learn more about Wesley Mission, visit wesleymission.org.au. You can find help in our community services, connect with our church and congregations, discover a volunteer role that suits you, stay up to date on the latest news and information, donate to support our work, and help make a positive difference in your community. You can also connect with us on social media and subscribe to receive the latest news and information about Wesley Mission directly into your inbox. Visit wesleymission.org.au.
Now, do visit our website if we can be of help to you or anybody that you care about. We've redesigned that website to make it easily accessible. At Wesley Mission, we're all too aware that for some, Christmas might not be as full of joy and as full of so many things people talk about at Christmas as it might be. So I'd like to invite you to visit that website, look at Christmas activities that might be running close to you. Go to a church near to you on Christmas Day, if possible. Today, later in the day, Carol and I are going to be doing numerous things. I'll be doing some media things after this, and also then hosting a Christmas lunch in the Wesley Centre after being with our people in our homeless centre in Surrey Hills. But we'll be in downtown Sydney, and if you're welcome to join us if you're close at hand and able to attend. Now, in the Southern Hemisphere, we associate Christmas, of course, with the height of summer. The beautiful voices of my Samoan friends tell us of what Christmas might be like in a very different place. But from the part of the world that I come from, and for those of us that have lived in the Northern Hemisphere, it's big coats and scarves and carol singing in the winter's evening. But there's something about that that's very interesting and would make sense to people in the Holy Land too. And that's that Christmas night has a very special nature about it. Christmas Eve in 1818 in the village of Oberndorf in Austria was where this wonderful first carol that we're going to listen to was first composed and performed. Now, the composer was the local schoolmaster, and was, as often the case in those places, the schoolmaster had many of the skills that were necessary in so many other roles, and he was also the organist. And there are many stories told about this wonderful Silent Night or Holy Night song. And of course, the marvellous thing about this is a story I'm now going to tell you, and that's that the original manuscript was lost. And then it was rediscovered in 1995, not that long ago, with the signature of the local priest Joseph Moore, appropriately dated by those people who use signs to be able to check the date of these things. And so there's something very special about this carol, not only in history, but in the way that it speaks to us today. So we just think of night for a moment as representing all those things that perhaps are not so easy in this world. Fear, isolation, those places where perhaps there is almost constant night. I remember once speaking in Iceland, where in fact in some parts of the day there are just barely an hour or two of light. And then at the other end of the day, other end of the year as it were, there are 22, 23 hours of light. But night often dominates the way people think. But in Silent Night, we have a marvellous message that speaks of the gift and the birth of one who came into this world to bring hope, to bring peace, and to bring purpose. And so the silence is broken with the wonderful sound of a Saviour who is born into this world.
Silent night, holy night, all is calm, all is bright, round yon virgin mother and child, holy infant, tender and mild, sleep in heavenly peace, sleep in heavenly peace. Silent night, holy
don't like it in here. I can't sleep. The floor is hard, I don't have room to play, and I'm scared. I miss my warm house. The shed is cold. I just want to go home.
17% of Australia's homeless are children under 12. Your donation of $35 can give children like Ruby a safe place to sleep, because no child should have to live in a tin shed this Christmas. Please donate today at wesleymission.org.au.
Christmas is a marvellous time. It's also a time of isolation for many people who want to help. You know, I get telephone calls at this time of the year saying, can we volunteer on Christmas Day? And sadly, I have to tell them, I've got a waiting list of volunteers who want to help on Christmas Day. I have to be sensitive of how I do this, but I sometimes say, give us a call in July. Then we might be able to find a space where you can really make a difference, helping us to provide the kind of compassionate care that we try to do in our community all year round. So if you want to be part of our work, don't hesitate to get in touch with us. We'd be very pleased to hear from you. Of course, the work we do isn't just at Christmas, but Christmas to some extent makes sense of all that we seek to do. It's the time of the year when many people, even if they don't always share the Christian faith, know that Christmas is about reaching out to others. It is about making a difference. It is about attempting to change the world in our small way by the little things we do. Now, the website and email address are on the screen now. So if you want to join, our team will be very happy to connect you with an area of work that is of need as far as we're concerned, but may well be of interest to you, and all with the outcome that we all long for, and that is to make a very positive difference in the world. Well, a most popular Advent song is written by Isaac Watts. Now, this is based very strongly on the Bible, on Psalm 98 and Genesis 3. It was first published in 1719, and it deals, which in a way that many of the Christmas songs and carols don't, with a profound problem, difficulty and challenge of fallen nature, and then tells the marvellous story of restored humanity. Now, the tune of this Joy to the World is Antioch. It's often been attributed to George Frederick Handel, of Handel's Messiah, primarily because I think of the strong sense of joy that permeates the whole of the song. Now, I'm not certain it was necessarily his, but it might well have been inspired by that note in oratorios and musicals that were being struck at that time that raised people's sense of enjoying God's presence, whether it be in creation or in the gift of Christ. And of course, when we ever hear the Messiah at Christmas, we have the wonderful words that we come from the heart of the Old Testament. Unto us a child is given, and the government will be upon his shoulders. All those biblical truths. Now, this song is so popular that people like Bing Crosby, the Supremes, Johnny Cash, Mariah Carey, they all take up the song. And I think whenever I see people, whether it's Andy Williams years ago with his polo neck shirt, jumper on, sat in the chair singing Christmas songs, or whether it's people, I remember Elvis singing many songs just like this. Why? Because somehow it strikes for them a note of what really is the most important thing for them. Well, today, we don't have any of those big stars in to sing, but we have our own stars. The people who sing it today are our Samoan congregation, who marvellously witness and demonstrate what the Christian faith is all about. And so, for the final time, we have our Wesley Mission Samoan Congregational Choir, joined with our Wesley Impact Band, who I thank, who join us all throughout the year, helping our music, helping this program to be all that it is. And they're here to sing Joy to the World. Joy to the World is a great song and carol, but it does have a side to it that challenges every one of us, especially when we're seeking to care for those people where their situations and their circumstances feel anything but joyous. As a young minister, I worked in Lambeth in London, really only a mile and a half from the Houses of Parliament in London, and yet it was so very, very different. There were many children that had never even visited that part of London. There was poverty in so many different areas. And I recall visiting a house on Christmas Eve to take a Christmas gift and finding that as I knocked on the door of this house, there was no electricity. And a great big dog came charging down this hallway, nearly through the window to greet me. I was terrified, and I handed over this small, insignificant gift, a packet of digestive biscuits. And the man behind the door, who barely opened the door, took it from me. The next morning in the mission, as I came out to conduct the service in the packed mission hall, my eyes couldn't help but miss the fact that on the back row of the church, there was this man and a very tall dog sat. And afterwards he talked with me, and I shared with him his electricity had been cut off, his circumstances were difficult. And he said to me, "Do you know, that's the only Christmas gift I've received this year. It made all the difference, a packet of biscuits." And you know, we live in a world where in our big cities around Australia and in so many places, the challenge of homelessness, of families in trouble, and people for whom the noise of Christmas makes very little sense at all. I hope that we've brought into your lives this Christmas something of the real joy that Jesus Christ can bring, irrespective of what our circumstances are. And this is where I hope I offer a challenge to those of you that are not part of the life of a church, that you'll find your way there today. And perhaps if you've got a big family celebration ready to happen, why don't you make an extra space at that table and invite a neighbour, a friend, somebody that you know would benefit from the fellowship, from the friendship that a Christmas Day meal can bring. This is the last season of the year where we should ever be accused of being selfish because of the selflessness of Jesus Christ. I do hope that you enjoyed listening to the Wesley Mission Samoan Congregational Choir and the message of the three songs, "O Holy Night," "Silent Night," and "Joy to the World." Don't hesitate to be in touch if you'd like to find out more of the Christmas story and how the significance of Christmas might be relevant to you in your circumstances. Also, be in touch if you'd like to connect with any area of our work or you've got questions about the Christian faith. My prayer is that you may have a blessed and safe Christmas Day. Thank you for joining us once again, and may God bless you in every way this Christmas.
Wesley Mission walks alongside people of all ages struggling with homelessness, addictions, mental health issues and financial stress. To find out more, visit wesleymission.org.au.